Oops, start over. Mike was on mute. Start over.
Starting over. Sid is still here. I think I was on mute, so I was just flapping my jaw. Nothing was coming out. But I'm unmuted now. I
That's
think.
my fault. I'm sorry.
But hey, that's what Sid gets. Sid's a new guy here out here in these parts, and he just does what he can for the love of the game. No sugar, no cream, coming at you live. I'm done with this character. So I'm going in and out of the list, and it just sounds horrible. I'm like I can hear myself. Like, gosh, that's horrible. But
Uh,
I did. I was unmuted, so I'll blame you for muting that. For muting that, Tim. I don't blame you one bit. But anyways, I think I'm done. I'm checking out, Tim. I think you're out to clear this podcast.
you're
I
out of this
feel
podcast?
I feel a headache coming on.
Well, I have double checked everything. We have audio now. Everything is good, but
Well, you get back to me, Tim, when you triple checked everything. I don't want any mutant issues. There might be a mutiny on our hands. These glasses are fun. I gotta put my wig back on. I got another outfit coming. Supposed to come today, but probably because of the weather. We haven't had mail for the last couple of days because of the weather. Because you know how it is. These people can't handle the snow. We're down here in the south where it doesn't snow. It doesn't snow in the south, Tim. Where are you from? I heard you're from South Dakota.
I am from South Dakota, Sid. Yes.
Don't say I didn't warn you, or something like that. There's a song in there. There's a song in there,
Yes.
ladies and gentlemen. It's a good song. But yeah. Anyways, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm out of control. Guys, we survived the winter wonderland of the weekend. Came in hot and heavy Saturday, and uh, snowed us in pretty good there. We our power ended up going out like early, probably like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Um,
Are you sure?
yeah, because I'm usually up at 3 or 4 in the morning.
Well, power was
So
out
it
at
had
three
to
in the
have
morning.
been
Power was out.
or somewhere probably sometime
Well,
between 3 and 8. Because I mean, you were
8 o'clock is what the security thing said. 7:40.
you got an exact time.
Well, there is a battery charge there, but it said that it went on battery charge around 7:40 in the morning.
Okay, so I'm guessing that's probably the time electricity went out then.
Yeah,
Well, that makes
unless
sense.
it and then battery power was drained. But I don't know. It might have been on battery power for a
I'm just
while, but
I'm just trying to pull fake facts out of my booty. So I have no idea. Like seems like you have the correct information. You have an accurate an accurate
well, I do
reading.
have a record, but whether it's when the actual
Yeah.
when the
Yeah. Well,
power went out
we lost it for so was it so
came on about 3,
7. So that wasn't too bad.
about 8 hours.
Less than 10 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, about 8 hours.
8 hours, not too bad. I was thinking it was
But
out for at least 12.
there were 250,000 people that were still out
I thought we were
last
gonna be,
night. I think last night in the news it said, so
yeah, there was thousands of people without power.
200,000, over 200,000
Right.
still without power last
In
night
this
at
county,
the
that's
news.
probably how many people live in this county is 1 million. So probably a fourth
No,
in
no.
this whole county. You don't think? Because what? It's 600 in Nashville, right? And then the surrounding areas, like we're not
The
we're
surrounding
not-
areas, I think, is 1.8 million.
right. So that's gonna be a good portion of this county, right? What is the name of this county? Because
Davidson.
Davidson. So yeah, that's who. What is the guesses for what the population of Davidson County is? Because Davidson is like just perfectly over.
Well, why are you
Nashville.
saying by the county? Greater
Because-
Nashville,
The Greater
okay.
Nashville area? Yeah.
the population of the Greater Nashville area, which is Nashville, Davidson County, Murfreesboro, Franklin, is over 2.15 million. So it was 1.85 when I moved here. So I guess it's grown that much. I've been here 8 years now.
So when they were saying 250,000, they're probably talking about the Greater Nashville.
I'm thinking
area.
so. Yeah. But I don't know. So let's see.
With that, then that Davidson probably could be 1 million people then.
Davidson is 710,
730, yeah.
710 to 729,000. It's the warring battle of the Google speed.
But I mean, that's the main county that covers Nashville, right? Like,
Yeah,
that's
and
right
then
perfectly over.
And then Williamson is south. That's Franklin, and then Murfreesboro. I don't know what county Murfreesboro is, but they have a technical, great. They have defined these metropolitan areas. DMA's designated marketing area, or MSA, is a couple. I don't know if there's a difference between DMA and MSA. I know what a designated marketing area is. An MSA smaller than a DMA? I'm going to check that right now.
Well, here's a fun one. We should throw our guesses because we don't know how big the borderline of Antioch is. What is your guess for how big Antioch is?
Okay, here we go. Metropolitan statistical area.
Okay.
Is generally smaller than a designated market area. So MSA is smaller than a DMA.
Okay, and what's the differences between those two?
MSAs, metropolitan statistical areas, focused on the core city and its immediate suburbs, often used for economic data. So there's 2.15 million people in the MSA. So how many are in the Nashville DMA, designated marketing area?
Okay, yeah, I've never heard of that term. These are all new marketing area. This is exciting, ladies and gentlemen. We're learning things as we go. Welcome. Get yourself a cup of coffee. Now, this is no sugar, no cream, but feel free to add some sugar or cream if you would like. That's just the name of this place.
Hold on a second.
Hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a pause on the podcast. Everybody freeze.
Well, that is incorrect, at least when it comes to Nashville. The Nashville DMA is smaller than the Nashville MSA.
For Pete's sake.
So MSA population 2.1, DMA is 1.1. So that is an interesting thing. So which AI is, I think that was an AI answer that told me that an MSA is usually smaller than a DMA. And I have an article that talks about how to survive in the world. Let me make sure I got the notes. We're trying to be able to respond to you in real time on chats. So this is. Oh, my computer is talking to me. Shut up, Gemini.
Give me a fun guess for Antioch population. I wonder how big it can't be too big. Well, probably less than 100. Probably around 100 or so. I wonder how big the border is for. That's really, I mean, this whole area is pretty dense with people, but who knows how big of a border we have for the population. I'm guessing 150 for the population of Antioch. But we are
119,000. You're close.
Oh, you're supposed to give me a guess.
Oh.
So I win. I win by default. 119, okay. Because I was thinking between 100, and then I was like, well, what if we do so? You said 119?
Yeah.
Okay, 119,000. Yeah, and I mean, that's...
So anyway, the question is, how many people in the greater Nashville area are still out of power?
Yeah, that's a question. There's probably... here, I'm going to like to guess. I'm going to say still... Let's hope it's not a lot. Let's say 15,000. That's a lot, though.
As of Tuesday afternoon, this is Tuesday afternoon, over 130,000 customers in the Nashville area remain without power. Wow.
Goodness gracious.
We are so fortunate. We are so blessed. Our power came on Sunday, 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
Of course, you get out further.
Thank you,
there,
Lord.
I mean,
that's what I said.
We are in a very well-populated area. I mean, we're definitely one of the priorities.
Significant, prolonged outages. Well, the reason we're a priority is because the funniest man in Nashville lives here, and they made priority for him. I actually got the text. We prioritized for the funniest man in Nashville.
Did you get any text about the?
I got no text about.
I was just
about
worried
when the power came on.
Okay, I was just worried about because they used your phone number to.
Oh no, I did get a text. Yes, I did get. I did. By the way, I did get a text.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I do remember it.
What did it say?
I didn't even read it. Ain't got time for that. Ain't got time for that.
Seth, I told you that I got a text. That's enough. I'm not going to tell you what it said.
So still, what was the number I said? 130,000 are still without power. And a large percent of them still in Davidson County. That blows my mind.
Davidson, that's our...
That's the county we're in. We're in Davidson. That's the major county for Nashville.
But there's some neighborhoods with tons of trees. Like, we're not in that tree area, but then coming down the road, it's not too horribly, but there's trees. I mean, there's trees everywhere though. I mean, I saw pictures of like downtown area. There's like these the ice just weighs down some of these smaller trees.
Yeah.
So like, they just got to basically just cut those trees.
Yeah.
Down.
I mean, I
saw some little trees.
People from, like, I'm from South Dakota, and it's common for people from northern areas say, well, Nashville, they don't know how to handle snow. But I've come to realize there's a significant difference between winter storms in Nashville or in this area versus South Dakota. Now, we get snow. Sometimes we'll have snow on the ground for 9 months out of the year. It can start falling in October and not leave, depending on the year, until April. I don't know, is that 9 months? I mean, so that's 4 plus 4, 8 months, I guess. So that's not every year, but you can have winter snow in April. You can have winter snow in October. Sometimes it'll melt a bit. And so you get used to dealing with below zero temperatures. I mean, there was a period of time for 2 weeks, it never got above, I think, 10 below Fahrenheit. And so you get used to living in cold temperatures. It's not ideal, but you get used to that, and you take precautions. And when you're not used to that, but the difference here in Nashville, number one, South Dakota is very flat. And when you get ice on the road, and there's a lot of hills in Nashville. This is a very hilly area. There's like less than 10% of the hills in South Dakota that there are in the Nashville area. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, goodness, we suffered a result of the hilliness with the car.
Oh yeah. My the driveway of the car, I parked it. I was so careful because what happened is we had rain and then it froze. Mm-hmm. And everything is so slick. And I pulled into the driveway so carefully, and the driveway is on a slope down towards the garage. And I was very careful. I did not want to slide into the garage. And I don't park in the garage because the garage is full. It's got my other car, my sports car, in there, and then it's full with other stuff. It'd be awfully tough to get 2 cars in there. It is a 2-car garage, but it's a tight squeeze. So I just park outside. And I was very careful, put on the brake and everything. And Seth comes up to the studio and says, hey, the car has slid into the garage door. And it just slid. I don't know, maybe the temperature changed, maybe some things had melted, and it slid into the garage door. Thank God I parked it so that it hit only the garage door. If it hit the side of the house, that would have been probably, like you said, it would have, the foundation of the corner of the garage would have been damaged, which is underneath this studio. And that probably could have been thousands of dollars of repair. So thank God that it only went into the metal garage door. And I was able to, it only bent it, and I bent it back. You can still see, but if a guy was careful and tried to, with maybe a piece of wood or something, and tried to make it level, you could eliminate most of that denting. Mm-hmm. So now I'm parking on the street. I'm not chancing it anymore. So yeah.
You should be fine now. But yeah, it must have just been some black ice, or, I don't know, maybe... Yeah, it was kind of weird though. If you didn't see any ice, it melted and rebuilt. There just must have been some black ice, or just freaky. Nature's weird.
I was in park.
Yeah, I was looking where it was. There's some ice further back, but even where you were at that point, like, I don't think there was any ice under the tires.
It's not good. I mean, you don't want to. Now I've got a. My garage door's
got
a little bit
having a bad day or anything, because I was pretty impressed how you took that like a champ. Like, stuff happens, but too, I mean, like, it's
well. If you had parked the car, that'd have been a different situation. I'm kidding. Hopefully, I would have reacted the same way. I parked the car.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, definitely would have been a lot different, because I would feel horrible and be responsible. Like, I mean.
Well, I'm glad I parked it, not you. So AI just gave us incorrect information when we Googled if an MSA was bigger than a DMA, and it said, at least in the city of Nashville. And so I have an article here from one of my favorite writers. He writes about music. He's a jazz musician. His name is Ted Goya. And I pay for a subscription to get, or Glola. Well, maybe that's an L or not an I. I guess it's Glola. And he writes, I mean, is it okay if I talk about 10 survival skills in AI-controlled society?
Okay, let me just put a little warning in here. Warning, ladies and gentlemen, the rest of this podcast will be a story that you... Well, no, I'm just kidding.
Okay, I'll try to make it quick.
You've done this before on... This is the same guy, right?
Same guy. Like, I've talked about Ted before.
Yeah.
He's a deep thinker. He analyzes things, and he's also a musician. So sometimes he talks about music. Sometimes he talks about society, and talks about like the future of the music business, different things. And anyway, he says, you want to hear a horror story? Starts off by saying, forget vampires and werewolves. Instead, talk to a young person about their job search. People that have paid for college and have a six-figure deficit, a debt that they owe, and they can't find a job. They said AI is already replacing entry-level openings. And it used to be the best job, maybe 5 years ago or 10 years ago, the hottest major you could get is the IT. Now, it's like an anchor around your back, because AI is replacing all these AI jobs. Here's some people. I just checked my bank account. I only have $100 left. I've sent over 400 applications. My hope is running out. Here's another person. I can't get first round interviews. Here's another one. I put in 100 applications a day for jobs I'm overqualified. Here's another one. It's been 5 months and I'm still unemployed. I can't find a job anywhere with hundreds of interviews and every manager saying they don't need employees. If this continues, I'll be homeless. I am poor and broke as of now. And I can only imagine these people with six-figure loan.
Now, I would say, because I hear this 1,000 times. Before you even get to the thing about the AI, I feel like you got to definitely, when you're getting a degree, make sure it's something that is needed.
I used to think that too, but these are IT degrees, which used to be the hottest ticket just a few years ago.
Oh, right. So I guess that even you got to take that into account too, though. Yeah, now too.
Even the STEM jobs, even the STEM being science, technology, engineering, and math, even those are being replaced by AI. And he says I could share hundreds of stories like this, Ted says. Even a degree for the high status institution doesn't guarantee success. 23% of Harvard Business School graduates are still unemployed 3 months after getting their degree. 23%, that's a quarter of them.
So this is something that's already rapidly happening right now.
Rapidly happening. And compare this. So this is
jobs.
So 2022, that number was 10%. We're talking Harvard Business School. Harvard Business School, the creme de la creme. And a fourth of them can't get a job that's only after 3 months. So unemployed after 3 months, but that number went up from 10% to 3 years ago. So that's 2.5 times the number of people who, now still the majority of them have jobs, but it's climbing.
It's so interesting. So basically, I mean, if I think about it, to an extent, AI is a very smart Google. So a lot of these people were kind of just Googling for their job.
Well, we're going to get into a little bit about that, because he's going to talk about things that AI can't do or AI doesn't do well. And then here's another one. Stanford computer science graduates are discovering their degrees no longer guarantee jobs. Again, we're talking about computer science, IT, which used to be the hottest. You used to be able to graduate, I think 3 or 4 years ago, the starting salary for a bachelor's in IT or computer science could be 6 figures. It was the highest paying job out with a bachelor's degree. And now they can't even get a job. It's a rapid change within the last, say, 4 or 5 years. And it takes 4 years to get a degree. So the time you get the degree until the time you graduate, it's like turning a big ship. You can't turn on a dime once you commit to it, and you're half the way through and you've already got, half of your student loans that you're going to have to pay. Anyway, Stanford computer science graduates are discovering their degree no longer guarantees jobs as AI coding tools now outpace entry-level programmers. Tech companies are replacing 10 junior developers with just 2 experienced engineers and an AI agent capable of equivalent.
What does it mean by AI agent?
AI. It'd be not AI. There'd be a AI.
So those two people
computer,
are
a computer.
using
Two people and using an AI computer.
Okay.
AI program. AI.
Hmm.
So what do? What are the job skills that you can survive in an age of AI? Trust. This is Ted says. Trust me, they exist. But by reckoning, these 10 skills would do just that. Be more valuable when the bots take over.
Well, here, what's the first job you think of when off the top of your head?
Well, he's not talking about specific plumber.
Oh yeah. I was
Car
therapist.
repair.
I would say therapist.
Therapist. You're on it, man. You're on it. Yeah. Yes. That's
which the sad part is there is people that are willing to use even AI as a therapist, but nobody a therapist is becoming
did you read this article? Are you setting me up perfectly?
No. Definitely mental illness is becoming worse and worse.
Mental health,
and as we're becoming more of an AI, I just see it getting worse.
AI can't do that. AI can't help with that.
Right.
And okay, here are and he's saying skills. He's not saying jobs. Ted's not defining jobs specifically, although one of them he does get into some jobs, but for the most part, these are skills, and what the job is that uses these skills, I guess that's for the reader or the listener to determine. But these are things that AI can't do. Contrarian thinking. And he says, do you ever notice that everything AI produces feels stale? That should be expected. AI has been trained to regurgitate the consensus of the past. It's built on statistical and probabilistic metrics that keep it trapped in conventional thinking. So if you think against the grain, if you're trying to do something new that's never been done before, AI is not going to help you. AI will help you, letting you know everything that's been done, but AI will not, because AI is trained on what's in the past.
You're basically going to go from having the most complicated, as a computer person, having the most complicated job to being your job is reduced to unplugging the router and plugging it back in. Like that's your job. Your job until somebody makes a robot, a little robot that comes. You are now fired. I'm doing your job.
If you want something fresh and new, you need contrarian thinking. You need people who can see the blind spot in the consensus. You need people who have learned to swim against the current. So that's what he talks about. These skills can be taught and nurtured. There are books that teach contrary thinking. There are case studies that show it works, but they're not part of education today.
Being a common sense thinker, I would say, is going to help you in this.
Yeah, world. I think that's part of it.
You know,
common sense.
There's a different.
Contrarian thinking is basically saying that somebody says, well, that's the way we've already done it. And the contrarian thinker will say, well, is that the right way for today? Should we do it the way it's always been done? You know, so contrarian thinking will think against the grain, will think about things different than what the convention is. So that's number one. Number two, empathy, which is exactly what you were talking about. AI bots are filled with fake emotion. So if anyone's using an AI psychiatrist or a counselor, mental health person, it's fake. They use feeling words, even though they lack those very feelings.
And if you think it's really working, that's because all it's telling you is, how does that make you feel? That's all it's saying to you.
AI can say that. They use feelings, words, even though they lack those very feelings. They're demonstrably sycophantic. Sycophantic meaning that you follow. A sycophant is a fancy word for meaning you're a kisser. Prone to what a sultry person would describe as kissing, butt kissing.
Booty kissing.
Booty kissing.
We are PG here on No Sugar, No Cream.
Empathy. AI does booty kissing type of feelings. Yeah. This is creating a massive. So he says this is creating a massive shortage in empathy in today's society. If you could measure it, it would be as big as the national debt. That's interesting. Shortage of empathy.
We're doing smart things here on No Sugar, No Cream.
So if you can be a real person and connect with others with real feelings, you will be in demand, and no large language model can replace you. So I'm glad you put your glasses on. You look so much smarter already. Number 3, and this is kind of describes a job, hands-on skill. Can AI fix a leak in my plumbing? No. Can it trim the trees in my yard? No. Can it replace? Well, maybe at some point, maybe one day.
Goodness.
Trim the hedges, maybe. Can it replace my stovetop? Can it tune my piano? No, it can't. I have to pay actual people to do this. They are in short supply. As I write this, my stovetop isn't working, and the highly paid repair guy keeps telling me I'll get back to you soon, but he doesn't. He has too many other clients. There are 1,000 hand-on skills like this. So plumber, electrician, those sort of things, is going to be really tough because each job is different. Fixing now, maybe at some point, if you could use some kind of automation for new buildings. If every building is exactly the same and it's worthwhile to train a robot to do that, okay. But for existing buildings, everyone's different. You're going to need a real person there to figure out, where the plumbing goes and what the problem is and analyze it. So hands-on projects, hand-on work, fixing things. Here's another one. This is number 3. Are we up to number 3? Whatever we're up to. Number 4. They're not numbered, but this is the next one. Reading the room. This is interesting what he says. AI has truly been created in the image of its makers. People like Musk, Peter Thiel, Altman, Zuckerberg may be smart, but their people skills are horrible.
Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness, yeah.
They just can't read the room. And now they have unleashed AI rots on us that are similarly clueless. It's almost laughable how badly the bots fail to detect nuance in tone in their interactions with people. So people who have the necessary soft skills, understanding body language. AI can't understand body language. Tone of voice, gestures, facial expressions will be essential to the smooth functioning of society. AI can't read the room. Moral compass. AI can talk about right and wrong, but it lacks a conscience. It can talk about ethics and moral values, but it doesn't possess them.
Yeah, they've already been lying.
Yes.
That's been a big, huge issue.
Yes.
We'll make up stuff.
Make up stuff. Just make up stuff. You can't trust them.
It's crazy.
It can talk about, if you give your word and keep your promises, you already have an edge over the machines. If people can trust you to do the right thing, you will always have a job. So nurture your moral compass, Ted says. It's the foundation of everything and not just in the workplace. So next one, listening. These are kind of overlapping in a way. These are human. Just be a human. I mean, a bunch of these. Be a good human is basically what it kind of summarized down to. Listening.
Love your neighbor.
AI doesn't listen. It merely responds to prompts, and it does it in the most disinterested way possible. But people aren't much better. Even the professionals who should be listening, doctors, lawyers, ministers, educators, can't be counted on to hear what you have to say. Even rarer people who not only hear, but probe to discover what's behind the words you say and find the truths, like struggle to express. It's like, you may have a mental health counselor and they're saying, how does that make you feel? And they're not even really listening. They're just spending the hour and then, time's up. I'm sure there are people like that or checked out. I mean, so if you're actually listening, and here he has a chart that shows, and I don't know where this is from the Financial Times, the growing importance of social skills in the labor market, and it shows graphs here, and this graph is high social and low math skills, and this is just the low social and high math skills. Going back to 1980, you can see the trends have been going up for people that have social skills, have been going up higher, and this is the hourly wage is going up more. The hourly wage for those who have technical math skills and no interpersonal skills. Source: American Community Survey, the growing importance of social skills in the labor market, 2017. So apparently this has been going on for some time. In a tech-driven world, this listening deficit will get worse and worse. I'm not surprised, Ted says, that some of the fastest-growing job categories include many nurse practitioners, home health care, aides to the elder, where listening skills are paramount. I mean, you have to read what they're saying. If you're dealing with a dementia patient, you probably have to understand what they're saying. Have I lost you, Seth?
No, I was just, I mean, at this point, is what's been created, is it truly AI? Because intelligence, what is intelligence? I mean, we are intelligence, um, capacity involved in ability to learn, reason, solve problems. I mean, have emotion. Emotion. I mean, that's not part of the definition that I've seen right here, but um, uh, memory, language, all those things. Yeah, 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 yeah. But what makes us human? Like the the just what the ability to have an emotion, or right, like have where there's a soul. I mean, that's something that a robot can never have. Can a robot understand love? So I mean, basically, I feel at this point, I don't know if a computer can ever truly be intelligent to the capacity of a human, because because as of right now, it's just becoming smarter and quicker, and it's just spitting out the information. It's becoming human like in a way, because it 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 has all the information to be a human. It's not making it fully human. Am I making any sense?
That's
in
my
that way?
position. And I know I've
Yeah.
read articles on this. There are two sides. There are those who say that AI. Well, there's a book that that I read. What's it called? I forgot what it's called. Hey, Michael, how you doing? AI Tim Wolf Inbound. Hey, Jacob Sharon. Happy holidays. Oh, shout out to you. Sure. Sorry if I'm murdering the pronunciation of your name.
Tim was just taken over by AI. I'm not sure what happened. What's going on here?
I hope Sharon is Jacob's best bud. Asked me to give a shout out, and I giving a shout out to you. Hope things get better for you, and Happy New Year to you. Please come home for Christmas. Please come home. All right. So what else? Leadership. Teachers aren't just worried about AI due to rampant cheating, but also because students are losing independent thinking skills. They put more trust in the bot than their own abilities, and this erodes confidence, judgment, and decision making. People who keep going down this path lose all ability to lead. They simply follow. So leadership skills are becoming more essential. The Germans called it Bildung, and the Greeks called it paideia. They were about the formation of leaders, and they studied those things. Next, agency. In order to fix things without waiting for permission or consulting the bureaucracy, this requires an attitude of agency, or willingness to take responsibility for the situation at hand. And Ted said this, might be controversial. He said this is why the U.S. was able to defeat Germany in World War II, along with all of the allies without the other allies, it was a team effort. But anyway, this is Ted's point. The German troops waited for orders, but American soldiers would figure out solutions on their own. I would say Western. I'm sure the British, the UK, also Australians,
the Germans
Canadians.
were AI.
Humility. The chatbots often say the stupidest things, but they always do so with total confidence. The arrogance is off the charts and sadly unjustified by the actual results. One of the first signs you're dealing with a competent human and not a bot is an appropriate level of humility, a willingness to admit the limits of knowledge or experience. In a world where bots keep giving bad answers with total self-assurance and claim skills they lack, this wise humility will be more valuable than ever.
Man, I'm gonna beat AI every time. I'm like, right off the bat, I'm like, I'm as stupid as can be. So, oh my God, I'm pretty stupid. So, like, oh, you're a real person. Yeah.
So, speaking truth to power is the last one, I think. Rise of technocracy is giving enormous power to a tiny number of billionaires, and they increasingly operate without checks or balances, pursuing ends for their own benefit, not the common good. We see a similar aggregation of power in the political systems, where even leaders in democracies seem hell-bent on putting people who disagree with them in jail. This creates further polarization and hence even more repression. And Vanch, who's brave enough to speak up against the overseers in this Orwellian scenario? So, anyway, that's Ted Gola's.
Where can you find that?
It's well, this is you have to subscribe, and it's not much. I think it's 3 or 4. It's under $5 a month. It's not that expensive, but it's. I've been saying it Giola. It's G. It looks like Glola. No, it is an I. Okay, it's Gioia. Ted Giola. He's shout out to Ted. I've been subscribing to him for a while now, and I love his articles. I learn a lot from the emails that he sends, and I mean, it's just food for thought. He doesn't necessarily. He's not know it all, be it all, but it's just food for thought, and it makes sense. It makes sense because the things he talked about. Definitely, I would say, because my buddy Jimmy has got 2 sons that are, junior, senior in high school age, in that range. They're trying to figure out what they're going to do. And they're talking about going to college and a 4-year degree. And college has gotten so expensive from when I went. And it's so expensive. And then you have all those loans. And if your job isn't secure, is that the right path today? I'm not sure it is. Mm-hmm. And he talks about, and so one of the sons wants to get into, welding or, things you do. Now, there's robots that weld as well, but there are certain jobs that are small. If it's a small job, if you're making cars and it's the same thing, you're doing hundreds of thousands of them, you can program a robot. But if it's a small job, and a human welder is always going to be in need. But plumbing, for sure, fixing your plumbing when it breaks in your existing house. No, I don't think any robot's ever going to be able to do that, or I can't see it in the foreseeable future. Electrical, those jobs, they make a lot of money.
Humans just won't poop anymore someday. The poop will evaporate into the air.
Technology. Tell the truth. Thank you for naming some of my songs. I appreciate it, Michael.
By the way, so that cost you $3, Tim. So to make up for that, Tim loses $3 every month, guys. So just feel free to Venmo us at Seth Ohms, and we'll make up that $3. So if everybody sends $1, that should be at least $3.
No.
More than $3. Appreciate you guys.
It said Camel camera was restarted, so I don't know. Did we lose our camera for a short while?
Yeah, I was watching. Sometimes it does act up.
Apologies for that.
I take full responsibility, but if we think about it, guys, it's AI's fault. I think everything we learned today, I'm pretty sure we can just blame it all on AI. Be like, honey, why didn't you get anything me for Valentine's Day? It's AI's fault. AI was supposed to remind me, honey. It's not my fault. It's AI's fault. It's going to be my excuse.
All right.
AI made me do it.
I have occupied the podcast. So, Seth, the rest of the podcast is up to you. Right. What you want to talk about.
Feel free to take a nap, subjects. Tim. I got this covered. We're going to talk about numbers. My favorite number is 7.
You're welcome, Jacob, by the way.
What?
Just ignore.
Just ignore?
No, Jacob asked me to give a shout out to his friend, and I did.
Oh, well, that's
And he
so
said
nice.
Thank you. And
Jacob,
I said, you're welcome.
Do you have any questions for us? Anything he wants to talk about? What's your favorite color? Jacob, tell us about you. How's your day going? Are you still at work? Are you headed to work? Are you sick? On a scale of 1 to 10, how annoying am I? You already see it. 9.
Oh, any songs about AI in the hopper? Huh? I haven't thought about that.
Yeah, I don't like.
I do not, but I don't use about AI. He said, not written by AI. I think is what he meant about AI. I don't use AI, by the way, just to clarify. I don't use AI at all for any of my song production. Career suggestions for your friend. Well, as I said, I don't know how old your friend is, but I would definitely look into the trades myself. I mean, especially if you start a plumbing or electrical, and you can be an entrepreneur and have a company and have other people working for you. You have to be licensed to do those things. And HVAC, I mean, people, heating and ventilation, air conditioning, They mint.
Basket weaving. It's untapped. It's untapped, ladies and gentlemen. Basket weaving.
No. 0 out of 10 ignoring.
I don't recommend underwater basket weaving. I've heard that's pretty tough. Pretty tough. Have you heard of that? Underwater basket weaving?
Yes, I have.
It's very hard. It's very hard.
You tried it?
No. I think this is just like
what is
like
the use?
Thing.
How is it? I know it's a joke.
Right.
I know it is.
So I found that out when I tried to sign up for it in college. Like, sir, that's not a real thing. Like, just like the time I tried to go get blinker fluid. That's not a thing either.
All right, so you want to talk sports? Go to the sports corner. Maybe change the subject a little bit. All this deep AI stuff discussed.
I was telling jokes.
You keep telling jokes. Keep doing. Don't do you. Be you, man. Be yourself.
Be you. Be yourself. Yeah, we probably should talk about sports. No,
we got Super Bowl coming up. Super Bowl.
Yeah, Super Bowl.
Super Bowl. You know, the Seahawks and the Patriots. The Patriots are back in the Super Bowl.
Yep. I hope they lose. No, I think they are the underdogs. Seahawks are favored to win. Yeah, that game was crazy. The Patriots played. There was not much going on because of all the snow. Everything was so ridiculous. Like you called it too. It was like there's not going to be no more points. It was 7-10. Like the snow just kept coming down. Nobody could run the ball.
Yeah, I wanted to. I'm not a big better, but Seth does do betting. You know, the betting. He'll do not who will win often, but like who scores the first point or will so and so run for a TD.
In the first quarter, because I don't like to wait. I don't like to wait the whole game.
And so he's sitting there and if we're watching the game, never been a big football fan. I'm an NBA fan. But
yeah, but
I've kind of been watching him with my nephew. You know, just some time.
He's got definitely bad back.
And some interesting games. I mean, I'm still amazed that was it the Bears quarterback for the Bears shot through that Hail Mary pass. He wasn't even looking. That was, they say, maybe the best pass in the history of the NFL. He was scrambling because he got chased and he had to do something to keep them in the game. He goes back at least 15 yards, maybe 30 yards. He's scrambling, and he just launches. It doesn't even look like he's looking, and his receiver's in the end zone and catches it for a TD. That was an absolute amazing. And then they lost the game. I was so sad that they lost. Yeah, there was that was not. That was when there was still 14. That was That was a week ago. That was a week before. That wasn't this week.
Yeah, the first game was so boring because of the snow. I was loving the snow, the idea of the game being the snow, but ended up being too much snow because they weren't able to do anything.
And the Patriots, their uniforms were white, so it's so hard to And how it ended, the chances for who were they playing? They were playing the.
It was.
Denver. They were playing Denver.
Broncos.
Denver were playing orange uniforms, and
which they had their chance. They had a backup quarterback. Quarterback was hurt.
And when he threw an interception, he probably didn't even see the Patriots guy because they're wearing white jerseys, and in the snow, he probably didn't think there was anybody nearby. And here the guy intercepts the ball, and that was the end of the chance for Denver to win that game. But
so they say that the Broncos quarterback got hurt like a couple plays before the game was over, but he never looked hurt. So the theory is there's a conspiracy theory or there's a thought that possibly he got hurt celebrating or something and got hurt like in the, doing something silly or something, jumping off something or
celebrating. They lost.
No, the week before they won.
Okay.
The week before, because then coming into the NFC or AFC championship, both of them were Sunday. It was the second string.
In fact. I got you. Yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah. He finished the game without any ill effects, but he couldn't play the next game.
He had to have surgery. How are you having surgery and not wincing or something playing
during the game?
Yeah. It was supposed to be at the end, but there was supposed to be they didn't say it was the last play that he was hurt. It was a couple plays before the last play, I believe. and there was no reaction, nothing. So he probably got hurt celebrating, doing something silly, goofing off, or I mean, you step off a curb wrong, you're gonna twist your ankle and pretty good. I mean, it's crazy how that happens, but it happens. I mean, goodness. Oh my gosh, probably the worst I've seen somebody hurt himself was. I mean, of course, this is a lot easier to do when you're on ice skates. I was uh, I used to work at a boys' home, and we were there with the. I worked at a boys' home, and there's this other facility that's further in town, and we happened to be both skating, and one of the workers was out on the ice, broke her ankle. Yeah, yeah, it looked pretty. You could see it a little bit that it was not good, but they had to just bring the ambulance people all the way out onto the ice and take her off. And yeah, she didn't go back to work that day for sure. She had straight up broken it. Oh, it was like, oh, I mean, too. I mean, you got to drink your milk too. Milk is really good for your bones or whatever. But I took a lot of vitamin. I've never broken a bone. Have you broken many bones in your
Hairline
time?
fractures, my wrist.
Just
a couple times I've fallen.
No clean. breaks.
Hairline fracture in my ankle by falling on the ice.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Ice
That
is
happened
a tough one. Yeah.
some years ago, and then my wrists. As thank God it hasn't affected my guitar playing. I mean, I know guys, arthritis hasn't affected it yet, so I'm fortunate in that regard.
Yeah, no, my parents walked all the way to Walmart. I'm like, guys, be careful. I mean, they're getting older. The first thing I think about this weather and everything is just falling on the ice and breaking something. It was like, they said they were careful, but they walked all the way to Walmart, but which is probably better than driving. But I mean, you're
45-minute a walk to get there. It's not that far.
No, it's just a mile.
Yeah, it's just like that far. Yeah.
Or yeah, it's really close.
Good exercise.
Yeah, good exercise. But when there's literally ice, like there's still ice covering everything.
Yeah. I went for my walk. I do try to walk 2 miles every day, and I went for my walk on Sunday, and it was treacherous because I went after it cooled down and everything. All that moisture had melted, and then it got the worst is when it melts and then it hardens, and then maybe it's just under freezing, so there's maybe a little bit of moisture on top of it. That's the worst.
Yeah,
it's just deathly slippery. So I'm really sad to hear that. What was the number? 200. How many people in Nashville still are without power?
Yeah,
it was over 100,000. It was 107. It was over 100,000.
Yeah.
That are still without power, and so we're so fortunate, And
well, we definitely found out that we'd be straight with the gas came on no problem, and boy, that could heat up the house in 5 minutes.
Yeah, have a gas fireplace in the house.
Was fantastic. That was nice to turn that on.
At least it's on the other end of the house from where my bedroom is. So if it really got cold, I would have had to sleep.
Oh,
no, I didn't. I wasn't cold in my bedroom.
Okay.
It wasn't that cold outside.
Because you even turned it down overnight. Like, I mean, it was like.
No, I don't touch the thermos. Turn what off?
No, you turned.
I turned the fireplace off. Yeah. Because the thermostat is in the other end of the house, so that area was really hot, and it didn't stop the furnace from going because it didn't reach, the thermostat.
It didn't reach all the way over there, did it? Okay.
Yeah. So that room where it sat was warm, quite warm. So I thought that was a waste of doing that.
I wonder if we stuck a box fan and pushed heat that way.
Possibly, yeah.
Because man, that heat is dense. I feel like it would just carry that heat really well to your room, just with one box.
Yeah, there's theories about gas heat. Is it got a different heaviness, weight to it than say?
Oh yeah.
Different types of heat. You got radiation heat that you can have. Some people have heated floors, water pipes in the floors, and that's a certain kind of heat. And then you've got when you've got circulatory air, that's a different kind of heat. Or if you have radiators right in the older houses had radiators, and that was a certain kind of heat. And there's more substance, I think, to radiant heat than there is to the heat that comes with from the
Yeah,
air blowing.
the gas,
And the gas has just got
just
a
has
lot
weight
of
to it. You can
yeah.
feel it
You
in
can
your
feel it, and it's
face.
good. It's a
It's
positive, right? Wouldn't
fantastic.
you say?
Oh, I
Yeah.
love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Probably a lot like a regular fireplace, like a wood that's without
Yeah.
the smoke.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
very similar to that, but
I would say so.
no
Yeah.
smoke.
Yeah.
No smoke. You're burning up the gas as it comes in, and probably so it didn't come on at first. It took a while to come on, but that probably just didn't come on because it hadn't been turned on.
No, I hadn't had it on in many years.
Yeah.
And
So
I was,
well, it
because
works.
I'm impatient, and I didn't realize you had to just hold it in. Because when I turned it back on, I turned it off, then I turned it on the next day. You have to hold that button in a long time. It seems like a long time.
Yeah.
Probably a minute, 2 minutes, maybe, to be safe before it stays lit. And then there's a delay in there, and it'll just be the pilot light for probably a minute or two. And then when I started it back up, it did the exact same thing.
Oh, okay.
So it waits, the pilot light is on, and it waits a minute or two. I don't know the time, but then
it was interesting. We were interested, like, will it still come on? Does igniter, how does the igniter get, what kind of igniter? So that was interesting looking that up, because so basically there's probably a battery in there because it's a newer fireplace. Now the interesting thing, like the older igniters didn't need any electricity at all. It's just a mechanism that creates a spark just by pushing down. So, but that being new, it probably needs a battery. But nothing things work better back in the day. But if you had an older one, though, you didn't need any fireplace. But you could end up one that has electricity part of it. Like there's ones with the remotes, and there's a chance that those have power. But I guess most of them still have that battery pack. Maybe there's like this one probably had a battery pack. But if you don't have batteries in it, then it probably wouldn't come on, and you'd have to have electricity. But I mean, you started it when we didn't have any power at all, so it must have had a battery pack, or has that technology.
Well, there's wires leading to it, so I think it has.
So it's probably one of those electric and battery.
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
Yeah, I've thought about. Someone asked about diesel. I've thought about diesel generator. People have generators, and we lose power like once every 2 years, maybe. We've lost since I've lived here. I've been living here 8 years, and we probably lost power half a dozen times, maybe. And it usually comes on within a day or two. This time it was 8 hours. And there were people running generators, the small generators, and probably not enough to heat their house, but probably keep the refrigerator and the freezer going, if you have stuff. But I remember in South Dakota one time, in the town I was living in, the small town of 1,000 people, or no, not even 1,000 people, 500 people. The power was out there one winter for over 2 weeks.
Goodness.
So yeah, a generator would be quite nice. But I mean, if you really need it, like the local hog farms, they have confined hog farms, and they need power. They had big Caterpillar generators, and those generators are set up so that every month there's a cycle. They cycle and they start up automatically and make sure everything works, and then shut off, and that's all controlled by computer. But that's a big investment, and of course you have to make sure you have diesel in there. And that's when if that was a farm, so they had a lot of diesel. But if you just had I've thought about this, having a generator. I've thought about you get a diesel generator, you got to make sure there's diesel there, and diesel does go bad over time. But we also have natural gas, so you could have a natural gas generator. But and I've looked this up, and they're saying, yeah, power goes out, you still have natural gas, but if power is out for a week, eventually that pressure goes away because they can't replenish the pressure to push it to you, so you'd run out. It only would work for a few days before the natural gas pressure would dissipate, and you wouldn't have natural gas. So, and then I've also thought about getting you can get the battery packs. Like if you have a solar, you have a battery pack that goes with it, And I'm not averse to solar. Maybe get solar, but just get the battery packs. But I don't know how long that would last as well. And keep it charged from electricity. And then power goes out, it automatically switches over. So there's different ways of making sure you have power. And I'm not sure which one is the best.
Enough with weather channels and all that day, we have there's a good chance we have a warning ahead of time for the most part that something's on the way.
Right. So you could mess with, getting your fuel.
Getting ready.
But who wants to mess with that?
Yeah. My dad does have a generator. It's come in handy a few times. But
how big is this? A small little one, like a 2-stroke engine?
I'm not sure how big it is, but he's able to at least, the bare minimum, cover the bare minimum.
I mean, if you like, my dad was a farmer and I grew up on a farm, and he had a generator that you would pull behind the tractor. I mean, it wasn't that big, but he would have it in the middle of the yard hooked up to the pole where the power would come in, and you'd switch from that to the pole or that. And you'd have that running there outside. It would be outside, but you have it running nonstop, and you already had a tractor. So you had a tractor because that was part of your job. You just took a tractor that you normally used for field work, and you hooked up to the generator, and that would power the house. And so when that 2-week outage happened, there was no problem. He had power. He just had to make sure to keep putting diesel into the tank. But if you're like, we don't have tractors, we don't have any heavy equipment, and we don't have any purpose for having diesel here. So when you're in a residential area and you're not in heavy, you're not in construction or farming, you don't have that sort of stuff. Thank you. Just use hot guitar licks to stay warm. I appreciate that. Anyhow, so yeah, it's just interesting. The grid going out is something that could happen. And I know there are people that have different preparation tactics. There are preppers that spend they spend a lot of time thinking about prepping for disasters. And maybe if we do have that kind of a disaster, they'll look right. But right now, so far, spending 20, 30 years doing all the prepping, and so far it's been wasted time. But at some point they might be vilified, or not vilified. They might be proved that they were right.
Well, yeah. Well, there's different levels of preppers too. I always thought the extreme preppers, and then I talked to one of my friends he's in prepping, but he went through a natural disaster because he was in New Orleans area when the flooding. He was down in Louisiana when that big flood came through, and he wasn't prepared for that, and that turned him into a prepper just for the idea of being prepared for like natural disasters, having whatever you need if the area is going to be flooded, having the food ready and stuff or whatever, because he experienced that. And I never thought about, that's a form of prepping too. That's just your basic like.
But still, even a can of soup doesn't, it has an expiration date, does it? You can't buy it and leave it for 10 years and expect it to still be good. There are things that have long shelf lives, but the shelf lives is shorter. Mm-hmm. And you can't just do it now and leave it.
Right. It's something you gotta stay on top
You gotta continue to spend emotional energy and brain power on, which I don't have patience for that. That's why
Patience doesn't have time. If you just refer to the name of the last podcast, we defined patience. It's a wonderful terminology and it really makes sense. And I am a fan. Tim has rather than me helping teach Tim patience, Tim has turned in. I have adapted Tim patience to my own. Like, let's get this over with. Come on now. Speaking of which, that's the end of the podcast. We don't got time for this. No Tim patience here. We appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching the podcast and staying tuned. Feel free to share the podcast with your friends. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Seth Holmes, Tim Wolf. And if you got a question or something, feel free to shout out. We know both you guys are watching us on Facebook, some even live. Appreciate that. So thank you for your comments.
Thank you.
And we would really appreciate it if you would share the podcast. That's helps us get the podcast out to more people. And then appreciate the few people that we have on Spotify and Apple and Google and here and there, wherever podcasts are for the most part. We will see you guys next time.
See you next time.
Bye.